Here's a typical layout of a bunch of cards. Again, it's the 24 cards of the Path of Wisdom, or Karma System, as Zola had called it. And what's interesting is, in first observation, would anybody see that there are six diamonds in the layout, five hearts, six spades, and seven clubs? So the predominant item would be clubs in this case. Hearts are a little low, but clubs are very high on the agenda. Spades are like what we could call normal, six spades. Diamonds are kind of normal. The only one that's a little higher than what we would call a 6-point average is the clubs themselves. Now, another thing to look at is how many face cards are there. Let's see, there's the Jack of Diamonds on the top, King of Diamonds, King of Hearts, Jack of Clubs, Queen of Clubs. There's 3, 4, 5, 6, there's 7 face cards right on the first row, the top row. The second row, 7, 8, 9, 10, there's 3, there's 10. And on the bottom, there's 11, 12. There's 12 cards. Now, out of 24 cards, this layout has 12 face cards. That's an awful lot of people. It means being around a lot of people or a group of people. When you see that many face cards, this is the kind of thing a lot of people wouldn't notice. Now, if you look at the top left, you'll see that there's a couple there. And right next to the dark spade, the female card, the Queen of Spades, is the anxiety card or suspicion card, the Eight of Clubs. Now, right below it is the Ten of Diamonds, which in itself is not a bad card. But I felt there might be some anxiety around the couple, particularly around the female. If you look at the Jack of Diamonds all the way to the top left, right below it is the Queen of Diamonds. So possibly there's some involvement with the male's family as well as a female, which they seem to be a couple. So we have to look for those little clues. And of course, as you get more into these type of things, you start using psychic more. When you start putting down the cards and presupposing what would happen, the psychic starts coming out more and more. Now, in the second column on the top, an Eight of Clubs and a King of Diamonds, and that's some anxiety. Again, so the Eight of Clubs is like anxiety type of thing. And if you notice, there's two kings. There's right below the King of Diamonds is a King of Clubs. So there's something either legal, insurance, or actually dealing with the law is possible. And that could be some of the anxiety in the situation. And then when you look at the third set of cards on top, the Jack of Clubs and the King of Hearts, you have a younger male and an older male. And if you look, there's red cards right below both of them. Below the Jack of Clubs is a Ten of Hearts. Below the King of Hearts is a Eight of Hearts. So that in itself is not bad. So I would say that you'd have a pretty pleasant dealing with a younger male and an older male. Whereas in the second column with the Eight of Clubs and King of Diamonds, there's something legal going on. There's some anxiety. Right below the anxiety card is a business or a work card that would show as a problem because that's the Ten of Clubs. But the Ten of Clubs has something to do with a change in times, which we're about to go over. Now, to the far upper right, you have the Queen of Clubs with the Eight of Diamonds. That's getting a small gift or payment of money through the influence of a female. Now, when we look at the fifth column, which is the Queen of Diamonds and the Ten of Diamonds, there's a change in times going on, and there's a female, and it involves a female, and right below the female is the ace of spades, which of course is some gossip or intrigue or whatever concerning the female, and below the ten of diamonds, which indicates a lot of money, there's the seven of spades below, so that may lead some anxiety to the situation. Now, in the seventh column, or the sixth column, where the ten of clubs and king of clubs, again, there's some anxiety over a job or a work situation. There's also some legal or paper matter or whatever, or dealing with a person in uniform or the police. And there's a heart right below it, the legal matter or the dealing with the police, which is the Queen of Hearts, so it may not affect you very much. Now, when we look at the seventh place, we have the Ten of Hearts and the Eight of Hearts. And that's a pleasant situation. Some future plans and somebody being helpful or nice about it. It's something very pleasant. And then we look at the eighth layout of cards, and it says for sure. The Nine of Clubs is the for sure card, and there seems to be an adult or older male that is present at that time, which is 8 days, weeks, or months. Remember, each category is days, weeks, or months. If it's in the third spot, it's within 3 months. That's the way of looking at it, too. Now, in the ninth spot, you have the ace of spade and the seven of spade on the bottom left. There's some gossip and delays or some intrigue. And in the 10th spot, you have a couple. It seems to be a young male and a female. Right above the female is this legal or whatever matter, so that might be something that's on her mind. To the right of her, in the 11th spot, is some family or personal news about some extra money that comes in, which is good, of course. And in the 12th spot, which is 12 days, weeks, or months, there's some threat or concern and some delays in some personal plans. And that meets with a moderate amount of delays because it's the seven of clubs. But just to look at the whole thing, when you look at a bunch of these cards, you would never think that, or even come to mind normally, that half of the cards are what we call face cards, queens, kings, or jacks. Out of 24, there's 12 face cards. So it's dealing with a lot of people. That's one of the checks that you do. And you have 5 hearts, 6 diamonds, 6 spades, and 7 clubs. And the predominant suit is the club. So there'll be more of attention put to the business situation than anything else.